Hey everybody, it's Miss Heather, and this is Miss Heather's channel where we talk about um, things that my community needs here in Conway and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I am a licensed foster parent, and we help teens navigate leaving gangs. We help teens and young adults um, who are new parents, um, needs that they may have as far as employment or housing. We try to help the community in any way I can. This particular channel is just to talk about stuff that we need to talk about. And maybe you might learn something you didn't know here. Maybe you might teach me something I didn't know. Happens all the time. So, and then below you'll find ways to contact me or contact places for resources that you might need. So if you want to donate to Miss Heather's cause, we love to get gift cards. Because that way we can just give the person what they need via the gift card. They can go then purchase what they need for their baby or themselves or whatever it is. Okay? So good gift cards are places like Jiffy Lube, Take 5 for oil changes, Walmart and Target for all the rest of the stuff, whether it's food or baby needs or diapers. I wouldn't do Sam's Clubs or Costco because not everybody has a membership, but I do take donations as well. If you want to give me those, right now I prefer you do gift cards or gas cards or stuff like that, or not actual items to give me, and that's just for the tax purposes until I figure all of that out. Also, if you need help, you can use the same contacts below to get in touch with me, and we will figure out whatever the help is. And I might not have mentioned it here, but whatever the help is that you need, we will try to help you as the best we can. Okay? So a lot of times people need help with money on their Securus or money on books, which is through McDaniel Supply. We do that as well. I know that's not something that most people do, but that's something that we do because although your loved one or you are incarcerated, you still have a right to be able to speak to your family. And it is very, very expensive to be locked up. Not just for your money for a lawyer and to get out and the crime to pay restitution for the crimes you've committed, but also for you to stay in touch with those people that love you. Okay, everybody makes mistakes, and we can talk a little bit about that today. If you have never watched the documentary called 13th, I would encourage you. In fact, I would encourage you to have the rest of your family watch it as well. If you're African American, you should have watched, in my opinion, you should have watched that. It discusses a lot about from slavery to incarceration, and the business of that. Okay, and it's very informative, and I come from that place of healing and peace and kindness to each other. We all deserve that. We don't all get the same chance, and we don't all get the same opportunities depending on where we were born and who we were born to. So I want to try to help these kids in my community by allowing them opportunities that they don't feel like they have. One thing that's really close to my heart is music. If somebody wants music lesson, if you have a kiddo who's into music, there's some places that I can recommend, and they can get instrument lessons, and it's not super expensive. And I'll share that with you, and maybe even hook you up with that, even with some, I'll even pay for some lessons so that you can get in there. What else do we have? I want to talk a little bit about today about incarceration. Okay. I understand that people commit crimes. I've committed crimes in my past. I was under 18. However, I understand committing crimes. Okay. I never did anything violent. I was never charged with anything hurting anybody or stealing or anything like that. It was mostly just stuff I did to myself that I should have known better. However, having said that, people make mistakes. That's what being human is, right? So we have to pay the consequences and be accountable for that. And that might mean being incarcerated sometimes, right? So the people who love you, who are left out here to cover for you while you're gone, I'm trying to fill in that gap between when you get home and you can pick up the pieces and what your family is doing to try to support you in this transition time. Okay. I don't care about the mistakes that you've made. What I care about is your heart and what you want to do about it now, and how I want you to believe and understand that you're valued, that God loves you, that I love you, that there are people out here who care about you. Okay. You don't have to be alone in these situations. If you need help navigating the legal system, I'm not a lawyer, but I can help you get to some people who do know about that, if that makes sense. And having said that, I suggested the 13th documentary because if you are an incarcerated individual and you want to call home, it is $3 and some change, okay, for a 10-minute call every time you call. Anytime that you put money on somebody's books or you put money on somebody's phone, there is a between $3.50 charge and $5 to $10 charge, depending on how much you put on somebody's books. They don't get enough food in there because of the overcrowding and because of the business of running a jail. So these inmates rely on somebody putting money on their books to get food boxes, okay, to kind of make up for that. Again, these people are human and they have human rights, okay? So we want to focus on what we can do to do better when we know better. We send books into the prison. One book that I have been sent, well, there's two books I've been sending. I should have brought the other one in here with me. The first one that I send to the guys is emotional intelligence. And it doesn't have to be a guy, it can be a girl too. This is a very short read, okay? 135 actual reading pages in this book. This, I'll tell you, I want to read you an excerpt about this, okay? Wit, talent, and skill are not enough to lead a fulfilling life. Other crucial factors for success and happiness are your ability to manage feelings, interact effectively with others, and handle stressful situations in healthy ways. Okay? This is learning essential strategies for heightening your emotional quotient, which is your EQ, your emotional intelligence, which will help you recognize and navigate the emotions of others as well as your own. Okay? You can be more assertive and confident. You can express how you feel, what you want and what you don't want, understand what others are feeling, and forge stronger relationships. You can handle difficult situations, events, and other people, manage office politics, and navigate the social complexities of the workplace. Manage anxiety, anger, and disappointment. Deal with bullying and motivate and inspire others. Okay? So this book can get you where you need to be on handling and coping your emotions, because most of us are not able to do that. All right? So that's a book that we send. I also send another book by Dr. Tony Evans called Kingdom Man, and there is Kingdom Woman, but I am completely interested in supportive of the Kingdom Man movement that Dr. Tony Evans and his Urban League have put out. Dr. Tony Evans, if you don't know who he is, he was the minister and pastor to the Dallas Cowboys for many, many years while I was growing up. His son is now the pastor of the Dallas Cowboys. He has a very successful church in the OC, which is Oak Cliff in Dallas, if you don't know. But if you know the Dub, you know Big D, you're from Dallas and you're listening to this, thank you for listening to our problems here. I was raised in Dallas, in the streets of Dallas, I guess I should say. One of the places I grew up was right there on Hudnall in downtown Dallas. Okay. I was in the system. That I was not a foster child, but I was in the system. I went from group home to group home, and then I was locked up in jail a lot. So, um, I am where I'm at today because of the grace of God. There were a few people that helped me along the way. The people in my life weren't on my team. They were on their own team with their own agendas. And it took a lot of hurt and abandonment issues and trauma for me to really come to grips and understand and cope and be emotionally intelligent with everything that I have been through as a child, all the way up until my mother finally did abandon me again at the age of, I want to say 39 or 40. She did something very horrendous to me and finally abandoned me and refused to speak to me because of some of the choices that I made that were really good choices for my life. She turned that into a complete smear campaign and tried to take my children, take my career, and my house even. And everything I have said on my videos that I put out to the public, I have receipts for. I have lots of receipts. I think keeping receipts is a good thing when I'm saying things about people, and nobody knows who my mom is. I'm just saying that obviously I have a mom and a dad, or I wouldn't be here, right? So, biologically speaking, my dad has passed on. And I will share some things with y'all that I've done in my life, but I've tried to laugh about most of it now. I don't have any pain from that stuff anymore. Being in my purpose as I sit today, and the work that I do outside of this camera, and the community that I have, and the love and support that I have from my friends and loved ones and community, they are the family that I've built, that God brought into my life, that I'm entirely grateful for. You don't necessarily get to pick your family. I say necessarily, you don't get to pick your family. You're born into that family, but you don't necessarily have to keep that family. You can make your own family, and that's very okay. And God puts things out there, and I don't know the reason why God took my family away from me, why that was my path, but what I do know is the things that I have been through, I am able to help people today. And that to me means so much more than what I actually went through. So going back to all of that, it's super important to me to make sure that guys and ladies, well, I just deal with men. And the reason for that is it was just what God put in my life. I'm not making excuses or trying to explain myself. This is what God's purpose for my life has been, is with young men between the ages of 14 and 25, I would say, rehabilitating them in gang life. I do also help girls, young ladies, and if you ever have any questions, you are with a gang member, and that you realize there are rules for you, and you have questions that you can't ask your regular friends, contact me and I'll talk to you about that stuff. I don't support it. I don't support gang life. In fact, I really and truly believe that you need to leave it. But I also will meet you where you're at too, okay? Because it's not that easy to say. It's easy to say, get out of the life. It's not always that easy to leave that life. And I understand that part. So if you're a young lady and you're having trouble navigating the rules and the expectations and all that, I will be more than happy to talk to you about those things, okay? What else? So supporting families and communities via the phone, via visits, through McDaniel's Supply, getting these inmates the nourishment that they deserve as humans. We do not live in Russia. We do not live in a third world country. While these kiddos have committed crimes, they do have the opportunity to be forgiven and have mercy and grace on them now, and allow them to make up for their mistakes. Will all of them want to do that? No, Absolutely not. But the ones who want to, we're going to be here for them just like God is here for us. And we're going to be here for the ones who don't want to, because if they may change their mind, they may not feel like that today, but that doesn't mean in 2 weeks they won't change their mind. I want to say something. I'm going over today a little bit because I really want to point this fact out. And I don't really talk about it that much because I guess because of fear. I don't necessarily want to put people's business out there, so I'm not going to. But what I do want to kind of parallel this conversation is that Little Dirk was arrested, and so since y'all can relate to this stuff, I'm going to discuss it with you, and in comparison to what I see here. Little Dirk was arrested for Quando Rondo's attempted murder for hire, right? So when these kids put a bounty out on each other's heads, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, now $100,000, promises of music videos, promises of record deals, promises of this, that, whatever. It's not worth it, guys. He has now thrown his entire life and career away to slide for Vaughn, to slide for King Vaughn. Why? Why? Why would his community put so much pressure on Little Dirk to slide for King Vaughn instead of being the bigger person and squashing all of this drill? Because where is Keith? He's enjoying his best life. Chief Keef is enjoying his best life. But in the meantime, we have kids doing drill beats with beef with each other that means nothing. Literally nothing in the scheme of things. Have your first baby. Lose your mama or daddy. Do something to stay on this earth for the next 10 years and then come and sit down with me in front of this camera and tell me how important that beef is to you right now. Hell, in 1 year, tell me how important that beef is to you right now, because I promise you it's not important. It's not. That beef that y'all are doing all this back and forth, man, squash that. Squash that mess. It's not benefiting you. It's not benefiting you. If you want to be a rapper, fine. If you want to write lyrics, do that. I'm not saying don't be your best self and live your life and do what's best for you and your family. But this beef stuff and putting bounty out on each other's heads and pressuring each other to stay and slide on each other, no, sir. No, ma'am. Young ladies, you're being used to set these folks up, and you can go down for murder and attempted murder and murder for hire just like these guys can. Because in the United States, one thing they do is if you're in that car and you're an accomplice, I didn't know that doesn't count. That don't fly. You still going to jail. You still got to get a lawyer. You still have ruined your whole life because you thought you were going to be cute and ride or die for these people. And you just might die. Up to you. Okay? I'm here today. I'm not dead today. Okay? I'm not locked up in federal penitentiary. None of that stuff. I'm right here today. I am living, breathing proof that you can come back from that life, that you can be successful, that you can live on your own, that you can independently support yourself and your kids. I can show you how to do that. It is possible. Okay? And I don't want you to think that it is hopeless or that you are helpless, because you're valued and that life just isn't for you. When you know, you know. Okay? So listen. Use these resources. Okay? Take advantage of opportunities afforded to you that you may not get again. It may be too late. You don't wait until your loss is so great that you can't emotionally come back from that. Don't do that to yourself, okay? You're just causing yourself an uphill battle for no reason. There was something else, and I've touched a little bit about this when I was really, really young. Gangs took care of me. They clothed me. They fed me. They made sure I had what I needed. Were they cooking meth in the other rooms and selling? Absolutely they were. But what I got was love and attention and affection that I needed as a child. Other parents took care of me. I was on parole before I was 16. On my 16th birthday, I was still on parole. I didn't get off parole until I was 18. Then I got my record expunged. Then I got in trouble again. And I got my record expunged as an adult. It cost me in the 90s, early 90s, it cost me thousands of dollars to get out of trouble as an adult. I promised myself that I would never get in trouble like that again. Never. Because back then, they had the war on drugs. And so if you got caught with a little bit of marijuana, it was a felony. It was a felony as though you had heroin. I was in another state. I had less than 1 gram of marijuana on me, and I got locked up, and it cost me thousands of dollars to get out of trouble for 1 gram of marijuana. Listen, people get locked up for not doing nothing, and the next thing they know, they're in jail for a crime they didn't commit. People make mistakes, get locked up in jail. Jail is a business, okay? It isn't to rehabilitate people. I guess in the beginning, that's the dream, the pipe dream they sold the American people. But please watch the 13th documentary, and then let's have a lively discussion or debate about the business of being incarcerated, okay? Because you take the poorest people with the least amount of resources, and then lock them up, and then charge them for everything they do. That's not rehabilitation. That's keeping them trapped in this loop of poverty they can't get out of. Because now everybody on the outside is not only having to support themselves, they're in poverty, they're having to try to help this person that's incarcerated that probably got locked up because they're in poverty. Because they need options. They need opportunities. We're sending billions and billions and billions of dollars to other countries to fight wars. We got wars right here on our streets of kids killing kids. And this is the lie that they want to sell the American people. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. But look, we're out here doing good things for people, for good people, okay? I love you. God loves you, okay? You are valuable. You are important to this community. You are important to Miss Heather. And Miss Heather will help you any way she can. I will not commit any crimes for y'all. I won't. I'm not going to. But I will keep your secret. Your secrets are safe with me. I'll provide you the opportunity if you need opportunities for jobs. I'll provide you with things that you need short term if you come to me with your needs, or I will put you in contact with someone who will. Y'all get out there and vote, okay? I'm not asking you or telling you who to vote for. Just vote. It's your right. In Horry County and Georgetown County, we have tax votes going on right now. I know the presidential election, it's important. However, local voting, our taxes, our city council, our mayors, our city managers, our treasurers, our roads, our infrastructure, all of that stuff, that's the stuff that you need to educate yourself on and vote. Again, it's about getting out of that loop. You're get trapped in that loop of poverty and welfare. Let's get up out of that loop and provide opportunities, okay? That's what Miss Heather is here for, and that's what I want to do for y'all today. I love y'all so much, okay? And until the next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye.